Alright, back with more Root film. I was gonna post this earlier, but I overslept by about 5 hours, but I want to see where this is going. We're gonna investigate around the city. Tatsunome Shrine's main building is taped off with investigators moving in and out. Among the onlookers is Yugo Tomine. Hey Yugo, last night sure was rough, huh? Oh, it's you, Max. It's terrible. Just when I finally thought I'd get to show you the fun of Owami Kagura. Don't worry about me. You should worry about yourself. You look worn out. Well, yeah, I'm in charge of production, so the shrine staff is mad at me for the potential fire mishandling, and all of our members got investigated. There was an actual mishandling of fire? Of course not. The shrine didn't permit anything fire-related, and we didn't use any. Well, you're right. I actually went back to the shrine after evacuation, and the tatami mats underneath the body showed no sign of burning. Yeah, the community center stages don't permit fire hazards due to fire laws, after all. We even use smoke from a specialty Kagura shop that's safe to use. Yes, that's it. That's what's been bothering me. I mean, do you usually use smoke that burns as intensely as it did last night? I could hardly even see the stage. Oh. As soon as Yagumo mentions the smoke, Tomine suddenly starts stumbling with his words. Noticing something's up, Yagumo presses further. What's wrong? Is something hard to say? The smoke certainly was weird last night. Doesn't usually obstruct vision too much. Phrase memorized. The smoke was more intense than usual. Why did it turn out like that last night? No idea. I didn't ask for it, and from what I saw, nobody failed to follow instructions. So you mean the intense smoke had something to do with the incident? That possibility is what made it hard to mention. The whole troupe noticed the smoke oddity, but speaking up about it makes it sound like the culprit is a member of the troupe. Well, I can understand why you wouldn't want to think about that. Anyway, we'll be in town for a while, so if you need anything, just come see us at our inn. Okay, I'll do that. Yagumo nods and pats Yugo on the shoulder. Just in case. Investigators are scoping out the shrine building. On closer inspection, one of them keeps talking to Tomine. Once they're done, Yugo comes back. Yagumo calls up to him. What were you talking about with the police? Well, there's some props in the shrine we couldn't carry out last night, so I asked them to be careful not to damage them. And they said they'll try, but they can't make any promises. I see. I know there's not much you can do since it's an investigation, but that's a bummer. Yeah, we carried out the valuables, so that's fine. But we're a barely profitable volunteer troupe. It's gonna hurt if we have to rebuy things. A lone man stands under the eaves of Matsuya, staring out. It's the same guest they saw yesterday with the video camera. Is there something stuck on the eaves? When Hitoa speaks up, the elderly man smiles and points up. How cute. It's a swallow's nest, a rare sight in this season. In the shade of the overhang is a swallow's nest. Several chicks can be seen popping up and down. Swallows usually raise their young in the spring, but some swallows raise a second batch. This must be a second nest. I thought they only nested once a year. Not exactly common knowledge. Are you folks staying at this inn too? Where are my manners? My name is Rentaro Hibiya. Hibiya? Now that I'm retired, I have the time. I like to wander around. Hibiya introduces himself to Studio Yagumo with a gentle smile. After they introduce themselves, Yagumo decides it's a good time to ask him a question. I saw you last night at last night's Kagura performance. Yeah, such a tragedy. I got permission to film the performance, but I never thought it'd end like that. Neither did we. Your tripod was on the opposite side as ours. Did you happen to catch anything that could help solve the case? Nah, I did a double check of my footage, but the smoke was so intense. There was a gunshot sound, and the person next to you collapsed, so I assume he got shot. I see. Well, if you want, I can show you what I filmed. Feel free to ask when the need arises. We will. They nod and leave the inn. Alright. We reserved a nice inn, and yet we couldn't even spend the first night properly. Like to have a proper rest tonight, at least, but Yagumo looks up at the elegant lodging and grumbles. Detective Kishino is in the gym room, fiddling with his phone. You alone, Detective? Where's Misawa? Misawa's doing a police interview right now. You sure you don't have to join him? Like the good cop, bad cop routine? He told me to go on standby. Never know when headquarters will contact us. You sure he didn't drive you out since you're just a burden? What are you talking about? There's no way. Megari only said it as a joke, but she apparently hit the nail on the head. Everyone decides not to rub it in as they decide to come back later. Okay, that's the same thing. They head to the community center where the troop is on standby. It seems the children have gone home, but the tired adult members are still there. Oh, you guys. Things sure turned out terrible, huh? Last night must have been rough for you. Since Are you the only core member here, Minagishi? Toriyama hasn't returned from police interviews. Tomine is explaining the situation to the staff. I see. So it's safe to assume it was murder? I don't know for sure, but it probably was. How could this happen? I wanted the troop to gain fame, not infamy. Now. We don't know if a troop member was directly involved with the incident yet, right? Hopefully nobody is. Last night's incident seems to have taken a toll. The depressed Minagishi seems so much smaller than the man they met yesterday. Anyway, how are you guys doing with work? You got day jobs, right? Not too good. The police said to stay here for now while they handle cleanup, but my company is giving me paid time off. Really just want to go home though. Alright. Studio Yagumo gets inside the parked station wagon and replays the backup of last night's video. Hitoa, the film's probably graphic, so you can wait in the inn if you want. Don't worry, it's only through the monitor, so I should be fine, I think. That's fine then. If you feel uncomfortable, just tell me. Okay. Alright, Megari. Let's preview the footage of the moment the incident occurred. Alright, here we go. Megari moves the seek bar to the appropriate time and hits play. Wow, the body really does go on forever. That's nice, but the smoke seems kind of overkill. It's hard to see everything. Certainly is. What? Blood? Somebody got shot. Blood. There's blood. He's dying. No, Toru. Hey. What the hell? What the hell just happened? Should be around here. Figures we can't see a shooter or anything. But he's holding his left side as he falls. Does that mean he got shot on his left? Which would mean the culprit must have sat near we were, huh? I mean, sure, our attention was on Orochi, but I didn't notice anything suspicious nearby. Okay, Megari, can you pull up the footage from when we went back to the shrine? Sure. She operates the file and continues. Hitoa and I haven't seen it yet, but it sounds like it was weird. Well, anyway, the body was weird. Weird how? It's hard to explain, just watch. Okay, ready. Here's the preview. That was quick. As soon as playback begins, Megari and Hitoa gasp. Yagumo saw it firsthand, but seeing it again reminds him of how bizarre it really was. The candies are scattered around on the tatami mats. Those candies were scattered during the Bisu performance, right? Yeah, lots of people left them at their feet, so they got left behind during the commotion. Large volumes of blood have spilled from the body, creating a dark pool. That's rough. If he bled that much, it's likely he died of blood loss before anything else. Would a gunshot wound from a pistol cause this much bleeding? I don't know. It's not like I've witnessed many gun murders in my time. The body is burnt black, but the tatami mats aren't scorched, huh? That is strange. But as a result, the fire damage was fortunately contained to just one mat. There's lots of blood flowing from the abdomen of the collapsed man. There's nothing in particularly suspicious about the body, but what on earth is going on here? The left hand is the only thing that didn't get burned? I don't get it either. There's no trace of a fire at the crime scene, yet the body was burned. In fact, just 30 minutes from the start of the incident to when the smoke cleared, we went back to the shrine. Is that really enough time for a human body to burn this thoroughly? I'm guessing it's probably swapped out with a fake somehow, during all the smoke. The mat underneath the burned body is the only one that has burned. The candies scattered during Ibisu provide some out-of-place color to the ghastly scene. If it was hot enough to completely burn the body, shouldn't the tatami mats be more burned too? These are candies you find at retail. There's nothing particularly odd about them. Mind if I say something? Notice anything? Well, I was just thinking this situation was similar to something I read in World Mystery Book when I was a kid. You know about the spontaneous human combustion? That. I'd probably find it real quick online. Megari opens up a browser and types away. She immediately finds the right page. Look here. Let's see. In 1966, John Irving Bentley burned to death in his home in Pennsylvania. Where exactly did this happen? Strangely, his surroundings were mostly unburned, and while most of his body was reduced to ashes, his lower leg remained. Look, here's a picture. Huh? Megari shows them a black and white photo of the former human pile of ashes with a lower leg on top. This time it's a hand instead of a leg, but other than that, it's pretty much the same. There's a good number of these cases, but apparently many of them leave no traces of fire. You mean that's what happened last night? Well, he was shot first, so it's a bit different, but looking at the body, I think it's a match. Memorize. The shrine body looked like human combustion. Silence fills the air. Logic denies the phrase spontaneous human combustion, but eyes can't deny the similarities of the images. Studio Yagumo leaves the station wagon. As Yagumo watches Megari and Kanade up front, Hitoa calls to him in a low voice. Director? Not sure if I should ask this, but what's up? Ask away. Well, last night when the man got shot, you said you needed to talk to him. You talked at the hand-washing station before the performance. Did something happen? Oh, that. You don't have to talk about it if you don't want to. Sorry, it's a bit hard to talk about right now. I see. Not like I don't want to, it's just that there's so many uncertain factors right now. So once everything is straight, I'll talk. Is that fine? Yeah. If there's anything I can help you with, just ask. I'm there. Thanks. When the time comes, I'll ask. Okay. Yagumo's words perhaps helped clear up some of the anxiety she had from last night. After Hitoa's cheerful reply, she dashes off towards Magari and Kanade. Seems like all the police interviews are over. Misawa and Keishino are taking a break in the room as they sipped a bottle of tea. As soon as he spots Yagumo, Misawa takes out a notepad and starts talking to him. Perfect timing. We identified the body. You're done already? Of course, don't underestimate us. Is what I'd like to say, but fingerprints on the intact left hand luckily matched one on record, so we identified him in no time. On record? You mean he has a criminal record? Yeah, assault and theft in his student days, organized bank transfer fraud as an adult. He was arrested withdrawing the laundered money. So basically, he was a trashy petty criminal. Petty criminal, huh? I guess it's no surprise he was a sham shaman too. Was he charged of running any scams or anything like that? We didn't get any documentation of that. All we can confirm is those 3 things. I see. So who was he? Let's see. Real name Toru Sakurai. Age 33, address unknown, unemployed. Apparently he's been staying at a nearby inn for the last 2 days, under the alias Ichiro Kumashiro. Memorized. Toru Sakura used the alias Ichiro Kumashiro. Kumashiro? Yeah, just an alias though. Ichiro Kumashiro, Yugensai Kumashiro. So he really was the one who sent those emails. Something else I'd like to ask. Told you the identity of the victim, didn't I? Is there more? Well, the forensic results come back from the... We'll have the forensic results come back from the blood and the hand found at the crime scene. Well, that's still underway. No results yet, but he has a record, so blood typing and DNA testing shouldn't take much time. Okay then. Something stick out to you? Well, faceless bodies are a mystery trope where the culprit uses someone else's burnt body to fake a death. Are you saying that's what happened in this case? No, just a bit curious. Well, the possibility is low, maybe in the past, but with modern DNA testing we can identify people based on blood and remaining body parts. Judging by the amount of blood left at the scene, he surely died from blood loss, and besides, you're the one who touched the carotid artery and confirmed his death, right? You testified that. Well, yeah. Anyway, we know the victim's got a shady past, so just trace his path and you'll probably narrow down our suspects in no time. And once we find our culprit, we can just ask them why the body turned out like that, right? I guess you're right. Detective Keishino, have you learned anything from the police interviews? Should ask Misawa. It's not like I'm at liberty to talk. Well, that makes sense, but come on, you can tell us a little, right? You guys always trick me into blabbing, so Misawa scolded me about it. I'm not falling for that anymore. It's your fault for going gaga over Hitoa. You say something? No, it's nothing. After leaving the gym, Hitoa is deep in thought as she speaks up to Yagumo. Can we check the footage of the incident one more time? Something bothering you? Yeah, we heard the name of the victim, Toru Sakurai, right? Sounds a little... I don't get it, but if you insist, let's check it out. Yes. Inside the station wagon, Studio Yagumo checks the footage once again. Same place as last time, Hatoa? Yes. Here's the preview. Wow, the body really does go on forever. That's nice, but the smoke is kind of overkill. Certainly is. Blood? Someone got shot. He's dying. No, Toru. What's that? She said Toru, the name of the victim. Toru Sakurai, right? Yeah, that means someone at the shrine knew the victim? It's a young woman's voice. I was concerned when I heard a name called, so I looked where I heard the voice back then. Pretty sure the voice came from the stage. Which means it's someone in the troupe. Yagumo gets up and shouts, "Let's go, let's find her." Okay, roger. Studio Yagumo rushes to the community center, finds Minagishi and shows him the laptop. Minagishi, can you take a look at this? What is it? What happened? Please, just watch. Huh? Overwhelmed by Yagumo's intensity, Minagishi looks at the laptop confused. What do you think? Recognize the voice? Yeah, I think that's Hina Shiraishi. She's in the orchestra, plays flute. Can we see the Shiraishi? What was her name again? Hina. She's still here, so I can call her, but it's not gonna be weird, is it? No, I just want to ask her a few things. Yeah, we don't bite. We're just a fellowship of funny film friends. Okay, I'll call her then. Minagishi approaches a woman sitting by the window and says something. She must be Hina, but as she eventually approaches them bashfully. Hi, can I help you with something? Well, you see, Yagumo cuts off and thinks for a second as to how he should approach the question. But once he decides there's no point beating around the bush, he cuts to the point. I'd like to ask about the victim who passed away last night, Toru Sakurai. Huh? You knew him, didn't you? Last night, when he collapsed, you called his name. Huh? Hina's youthful face goes a little pale and her eyes wander. But eventually, she must realize she can't gloss over things and gives a small nod. Yeah, I went out with him. I see. So you were his girlfriend? You told the police? Hina shakes her head. To get her to relax, Yagumo tries to sound as gentle as he can. I see. That's okay. We're not with the police, and we don't feel like telling them. Truth is, I knew him too. I want to know why that happened to him. You knew Toru? Yeah. Though we weren't exactly on friendly terms. He kept his demonic thoughts to himself. He puts on a sad face and continues. Poor thing. Why did he have to make the ultimate sacrifice? Do you have any ideas? I'm not sure myself, but he may have been frightened. He's been frightened since a little while ago. By what? He was told he'd be burned by hellfire. Yagumo patiently listens as Hina talks about something that seems irrelevant. Burned by hellfire, huh? Sounds bad. Who told him that? Not sure myself, but he's been frightened since a little while ago. Was it a shaman? Did a shaman tell him that? Yes. He said he was told by a spirit medium named Yugen Kumashiro. Memorize. Yugen said Toru would be burned by hellfire. Kumashiro? Yugen Kumashiro? Said that to Sakura? Yeah. What does this mean? He's not the shaman? Hina's words leave Yagumo completely dumbfounded. At that moment, he hears an email notification. He hastily pulls out his phone and opens the email app to see. What do you think? From Yugen. Dear Max Yagumo, feel the need to demonstrate my power before we met, and thus I punished a villain with hellfire. What do you think? Surely you believe in my power now. What the hell? You bastard. Damn it. Damn it! Yagumo's scream echoes throughout the room, and everyone looks at him dumbfounded. Yagumo Part 3, Chapter 3. I see. After hearing everything, Magari lets out a sigh. Yagumo gathered everyone in the room at Matsuya Inn and told him his story with Yugen-sai. So, Kumashira has been messing with you, and now he's involved in this incident? Yeah, as you can see from that email, he claims he burned the victim with his psychic power. Psychic power? Does that even exist? Well, there are people who have pyrokinesis, which is more accurately a form of psychokinesis. If that's true, we got our culprit, right? Can't we get the police to backtrace that shaman's email address to find him? I did report the email to Misawa's team, but it won't be that simple. Criminal wouldn't let themselves be tracked by email that easily. Well, I guess you got a point. Kanade. Quiz time. Fatigue dulls your sense of taste, but fatigue affects which of these tasted the least? Sugar, salt, or malt vinegar? Malt vinegar? So sorry, the correct answer was sugar. That's why sweets taste good when you're tired. Come on, you tease Kanade way too much. The email said I punished a villain with hellfire, right? Yeah. And Hina Shiraishi said that Sakurai was afraid he'd be burned. But something's a little strange here. Strange how? If you're going to burn somebody to death using psychic power, why shoot him first? In fact, Sakurai died of a bullet wound. It wasn't until after he died that he was burned. Right. That is strange. Why mix occultic psychic powers with something as plain as a gun? I feel like there's something important here. Yeah, there probably is. Let's investigate that. Have you replied to the email yesterday from that shaman guy? Yeah. I believe in your power now, so let's meet up. I haven't gotten a reply yet. Well, sure, meeting him directly is the quickest way to identify him, but... What kind of guy is Yugen-sai? Well, he's a shaman, so I bet he's got a long, thin, disheveled hair and a funny mustache. That's such a cliche. For a film director, you got a pretty lacking imagination. Shut up, let's hear your impression. Bald, bulky, with thick eyebrows? That's not any less imaginative. I guess you're right. They're both pretty bad. Considering what Hatoa pointed out, this may be a pseudo-psychic murder. That's what I think, but... gun usage would make you doubt its psychic powers, so knowing that, why would the culprit use a gun in the first place? Makes me think that there's some nefarious scheme. It's a little scary. Scheme, huh? Yagumo thinks to himself as he walks from the inn. If Hina Shiraishi's right, then Toru Sakura was afraid of Yugen-sai. But he didn't react like that when I brought up Yugen-sai's name at the hand-washing station. That's strange. Everything about this incident is strange. Director, what are you doing? We're gonna leave you behind. Right. While Yagumo's deep in thought, the others have gotten way ahead of him. Yagumo shakes the dark thought out of his head and hurries up to catch up with the others. Inside the van, everyone looks at Magari's laptop. After several previews of the incident footage, they find no clues in particular. I guess there's no point in just watching the footage aimlessly. Yeah, I thought we might be able to find a clue, but I guess we're better off doing field work. They give up watching the video and head out of the van. The police inspection is still ongoing at the shrine. Studio Yagumo joins onlookers and starts filming. They approached by a familiar duo. Oh, you guys, snooping as usual with that camera, I see. Well, we're still location scouting, and our shrine's one of our targets, so... Well, whatever, just don't get in the way. We know. That's why we're filming from a distance, see? Misawa humps and... turns his back to them before he remembers something and turns around again. Right, about that email from Yugensai Kumashiro you reported. Did you find something out? No, we turned it over to the safety division. They're faster at handling cybercrime. Oh, it's probably just a spammy prank email. Huh. You guys just turned it over? After all our help, you're not taking this seriously, are you? Look, we got our hands full tracking down the murder weapon and tourist Sakurai's cronies. And you want us to investigate the possibility the murder was done by psychic fire? They'd call us crazy and take us off the case. When Megari pouts and falls silent, Hitoa takes over. But the email had clear criminal intent, so isn't there a high probability that the sender is connected to the case? I see. You got a point, Hitoa. That shaman could hold the key. You have to investigate the shaman. Like hell we do. Besides, the email was sent last evening, right? He could have just learned about the incident in the papers or the news, couldn't he? Well, the body was found in an unnatural state, right? A burned body without a trace of fire. With an unnatural phenomenon like that, I think it only makes sense someone supernatural like a shaman could be involved. True, we have to focus our investigation on that shaman. Like hell we should, dumbass. Ow. Misawa jabs Keishino in the back of the head. As Yagumo blankly watches them, he thinks back on all the emails. Detective Misawa's got a point. Maybe he saw it on the news and made it seem like it was his psychic powers. But then again, Hina Shiraishi said that Sakurai was threatened with hellfire. If that's true, then Yugensai predicted the incident. More importantly, he knows I want to know the truth behind the project from 10 years ago. How the hell does he know that? I need to drink some water or something, one sec. Alright. Everyone sure looks tired, huh? Yagumo is too focused on Yugensai Kumashiro to even feel tired, but the staff is another story. He decides to let everyone take a break and reconvene in an hour. Misawa and Keishino are in a room at the gym. Have you finished your on-site inspection? No, we did the DNA test result. We got the DNA test results from HQ. We just finished checking them. You mean the bloodstain in the left hand? How'd it go? Why should we tell you? Well, we're all friends here, aren't we, detective? You can tell us, can't you? Since we're friends? That's unfortunate to hear. I thought we were finally friends. We definitely are, Hitoa. Both tests conclusively said it was Sakurai. Don't just tell him that. Misawa knocks Keishino away with a well-executed dropkick. You okay? You shouldn't be straining yourself at your age. Shut up. Well, fine. There's something we were gonna tell you anyway. What's that? Not you, Yagumo. Me? What is it? You're gonna stay around here? Yeah, that's the plan. Okay, but if you're gonna change locations, tell us first, okay? But why? Your clothes tested positive for gunshot residue. Ah. Huh? No way. Yes way, we checked you with a sheet during the police interview, remember? You tested positive. Wait, I sat next to the guy who got shot, so wouldn't that explain why? Yeah, I know, no need to panic, we understand that much. You're not the only one who tested positive for the gunshot residue. Many tourists did. Huh. Many tourists tested positive for gunshot residue. Did it come from the ceiling? Or the floor? The tourists too? Yeah, according to our interviews, they were all scattered around the shrine. Well, apparently several gunshots were heard, so if the culprit moved while shooting, it makes sense for people nearby them to test positive. So that's what it was. Is that all? Don't scare me like that, jeez. Seriously, I thought my heart was gonna stop. If we suspected you, we would have arrested you long ago. That said, you're not completely off the hook. So, we'll need to know your location for a while. I'll keep you updated. Thanks, please do. Studio Yagumo thanks Misawa and gives the collapsed motionless Keishino a sidelong glance as they leave. The crowd seems a lot thinner now, huh? Few people are left in the community center. The only one they recognize is Sachi Toriyama. Where did everyone else go? Hello there. Right, so, since everyone has work and school, non-essential people were let home. Right, it's not like Owami Kagura is a specialty occupation, huh? Right, the police said that they're free to go home, though they might be called back later. I see. You got the snake body out safely, huh? Yeah, it is perhaps the most expensive prop used in Owami Kagura, so it's top priority. I see. In our case, we prioritized our camera and pin mic. Well, luckily the snake's body is safe, as well as all the valuable masks and costumes too. Yagumo notices one of the cardboard boxes labeled smoke. Smoke candles in that box? Yeah, something kept bothering me, so I had someone from Kagura's shop take a look at them. Something bothered you? I mean, during the incident, the smoke was unnaturally more intense than usual. Exactly. I see. Of course, I didn't catch that. Of course people in the film industry would notice something was off, huh? I think even ordinary people would think something was off. Yeah, it's not like we used more than normal, and yet there was an intense amount of smoke. Just when we thought something was off about the stage, all hell broke loose. Does that mean you used something different than usual? Personally, I plan to use the usual ones, and they look the same as usual, but I double-checked with someone at the shop, and they said this isn't the product we make. They were swapped out. The smoke candle wasn't the one sold at the shop. So it wasn't the one from the shop, and the one you stocked up? Right, they were almost identical at first glance, but the paper wrapping on the bottom of the tube was sealed slightly differently. We only use products from that shop, which means someone must have switched it out. Do you know when the smoke candles were switched? I checked the night before, but as I said, they looked almost identical. Maybe they were switched out before that, and I just didn't notice. In that case, it'd be hard to pinpoint when the switcheroo happened. Sorry, can't be of more help. Did the other core members, besides you, leave? No, all core members stayed. After something like that, there's tons of cleanup to do, you see. So I gave up and sent my company a request for paid time off. It's the first time Studio Yagumo has seen her since the incident. She seems relatively calm. She gives off a carefree smile. Yagumo asks a question. Where are the other core members? I don't see them. Those guys suddenly ran off to Bitsu Shrine for whatever reason. Maybe they wanted to walk over there for a change of pace. Bitsu Shrine's around here? Yeah, real close. It's a small but nice shrine built in the Muromachi period. The whole kerfuffle happened after Ibisu, so maybe they went to apologize to him. We didn't get a new location from that. Come to think of it, I don't see Hina anywhere. Did she go home? Upon mentioning Hina's name, Toriyama's cheerful face suddenly turns bitter. Hina, huh? She looked down, so I sent her to Ibisu Shrine with the others. Memorized. Hina Shiraishi was depressed after the incident and went to Ibisu Shrine. Look down? She was close with the deceased victim, so it's understandable. So to cheer her up, I told her to go outside and get some sunlight. You're aware that Shiraishi was going out with the victim, Sakurai? Well, the girls in the troupe talk about things and come to each other for advice. From what I hear, he was a pretty shady man. You hear about anything he's done? No, I haven't, but about a month ago he showed up at Hina's apartment all beat up. He's terribly afraid that those people are still after him, apparently. Sakura was afraid of people who are after him. I see. So the reason he had a crutch was because of those injuries, huh? Nodding to himself, Yagumo asked one more question. Just thinking, but he was afraid of people who beat him up, right? Not some shaman? Shaman? That's not a word I was expecting. What's that about? Wasn't he threatened by a shaman? Not that I heard of. What's the meaning of this? Was she not told about Yugensai Kumashiro, or... Don't tell Hina talked about her boyfriend. Wouldn't want things to get awkward between us. Don't worry, we'll protect the confidentiality of our sources. Confidentiality? You're like a detective or a private investigator. True, sounds a bit pretentious, but seriously, we'll keep it a secret. Please do. Alright, but I think we'll go to Ibisu Shrine next time. So, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys then. Bye.